Wisconsin Broadcasters Association Hall of Famer Bob Berry ruled Milwaukee's airwaves in the 60s and 70s. He spoke with countless musicians and celebrities over the years. Bob collected remarkable recordings of these encounters, which he's now sharing with the public. Here's Bob.
This guy was crazy. I mean, he was way out there, and he'd be the first to admit it. You wouldn't know it, but Rip Taylor worked as a Congressional page and served in the Korean War. During the war, he performed stand-up comedy for the troops. After his years of military service, he did a nightclub act. He'll explain how he got his start in television. He became a regular in Las Vegas, opening for Frank Sinatra, Ann-Margret, Judy Garland, and Sammy Davis Jr. He appeared in episodes of the Monkees and the Brady Bunch. You may have seen him on Hollywood Squares, The Gong Show, Will and Grace, and The Match Game. He also hosted the $1.98 Beauty Show. Rip was on Broadway and made several appearances in the movies. He appeared as himself in Wayne's World 2 and was Demi Moore's boss in Indecent Proposal.
Hello, Bob! Rip Taylor, one of my all-time favorite comedians, is on the air.
Oh, now wait a minute, Bob. Look in the mirror.
Oh, yeah. One of the younger comedians that I know is on the air with us right now. He's
No working, Bobby.
the Laughing Man's comedian.
You heard what happened?
What happened?
Well, this Jewish lady's walking down the street in Milwaukee and accidentally bumps into the Japanese lady.
Yeah.
And she walks in, the Japanese lady, excuse me, how do you get to Milwaukee Athletic Club? Jewish lady says, you found Pearl Harbor, didn't you? You'll find it in Milwaukee Athletic Club. Thank you.
And Rip was the host of the $1.98 Beauty Contest. This I didn't know about.
You know that turkey's going to come on cable now?
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. Of course, I didn't like the the girls in little bikinis and that, but other than that, it was a good show. Hello.
Is this Bob? Ain't the Bob Barry I know.
Yeah, that's right. From the Playboy Club in Lake Geneva, the first time I saw Rip Taylor, I'm still laughing. I fell off my chair several times that night.
You got to get a bib, I told you that.
You were a Senate page for a couple of years?
Why is that voice questioning this? Yes.
Well, I
They're
don't know.
doing comedy. Leave me alone, Bob. Yes.
From Senate page to working every strip joint and every sewer in the United States.
Every one of them, huh? Oh, God. Most of the senators have, too. That's where I met them. Oh, never mind.
And then you got started on the Ed Sullivan Show, huh?
Yeah, he found me in the Catskills one night. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I bribed the entire audience. I gave them champagne for 500 people. I said, look, when I come out and start my act, you all scream and don't let me off stage. Well, I walked out, and I had given them all champagne. I mean, free before he came into the room.
My
And I
God.
bribed them. So then I went on stage, and I said, good evening. They said, yeah, he's wonderful. I said, not now. We finished the act. So then he knew it was a setup, and he loved that idea, so he booked
What movies did you do?
Silence. No. The most recent was Cheech and Chong. Have you seen it?
Okay, I didn't see it. See, that's why I didn't know.
You got to get out of those studios.
I've got to get out of here.
I'd rather be rich with Maurice Chevalier, Andy Williams, Robert Goulet, and Sandra Dee, who are all out of the business. You know how good the movie must have been. I did Happy Hooker Goes to Washington. I don't want to discuss that any further.
Okay.
Filth. You were in the background and volunteered as an extra. I remember you.
And I know
Socks and little... Never mind.
unusual for Rip Taylor to do anything like that. And he's going to be in a Dr. Pepper commercial. It's going to be right in your living room on your TVs.
Sure is. I just came back from London and did that. Can you believe I went all the way to London to film that because the value of the pound is cheaper than the American dollar?
Is that the reason?
Isn't that terrible?
Oh, that is.
It was $3.50 when I first went. It was $1.18.
What do you want to do when you grow up?
Show business is my life.
Okay.
I had another job. I was a waiter in an insane asylum. I served soup to nuts. Oh, Jesus. Pardon me.
What kept you going before you became a star? I mean, how did you live?
The posse.
Oh, kept you moving, huh? What did the $1.98 beauty contest do for you or against you, do you think, to your career?
It added more zeros at the end of the weekly stipend. I had always worked. I had always planned to be a comedian all my life. And when I laid off, by their choice or mine, I never got another job as a waiter to make a living. I saved up when times would be slow. But I always worked because I had a commercial act. I did record pantomime. Now, you can't hurt anybody doing record pantomime using somebody else's talent, aren't you? Well,
Yeah, right.
so I did that. And when the machine broke, I started talking. I haven't shut up. But, you got to start shooting jokes in the beginning. So I did that. Then eventually I tried something, and then one day I was doing Merv's show. And it wasn't going well at all, and I knew I was going down the pooper, so I said, wait a minute, let's just stop this. And I said, just a second, it's not working. And I tore up his script, and I pulled Charo's wig off and Van Johnson's shoes with the red socks and knocked over Murph's desk and walked off. I had planned never to do television because I said, well, they don't want me, and that's not for me. So 2 weeks later when they showed it, they said, get the guy that goes crazy, and it was me. I went back and do that again, so I had to see the tape. I didn't know what the hell I did. So I threw confetti, and that was Happy kind of takes New Year's Eve. Then I did the next routine where I threw peanuts, and then the audience threw them back, which means there is a rapport. Then I threw marshmallows, and I said, here, you'll eat while I'm on. So the jokes meant nothing. It was the rapport of the audience. That's what helped me tremendously. Then Sullivan saw it and said, oh, get the crying comedian, because if I got my name, I pulled the hair from my nose, and you'd cry, too. And that's how that started. Then stars saw me, Judy, Garland saw me, and Ann-Margret, and my closest and dearest, Debbie Reynolds. We work together all the time now.
I suppose you're going to have an exercise. You're going to have an exercise video one of these days too, huh?
What is that, crazy? If it wasn't for turnstiles, I wouldn't have any sex life at all. Are you nuts?
If you're going to do any traveling, like to Lake Tahoe.
Are you kidding? I just got back, pal.
I'm talking about the folk listening right now. If they're going to go to Lake Tahoe, I was going to say that you're going to be there with Mac Davis.
Open there, yes, on the 20th for a week, and then Atlantic City with Gloria Loring.
It's going to be a hard question for you to answer, to compare Atlantic City and Las Vegas, because, of course, you live in Las Vegas. But what do you think of Atlantic City? Is it...
Well, everybody asks me that every day because they know I do live here and I do work both places. Atlantic City must have a better Chamber of Commerce than we do here in Las Vegas, because everybody thinks it's all over here in Vegas. It isn't. If people bother to look at the yearly grosses, it always goes up.
Yeah, right.
That means people are coming and spending. The shows have totally changed because you have no more $300,000 a week acts. You have a whole review of 30, 40, 60 people. So you get much more show for your money than you do having an artist do their whole album if they were a singer, you know? Mm-hmm. That's the only difference.
Do people like you who live in Las Vegas gamble?
I'm taking a chance talking to you, Bob.
Yeah, probably the biggest gamble of the month. Right.
I mean, I have tried. I cannot win. I would have had $500 in Keno if it wasn't for 11 numbers. I cannot win. And you see the darndest things out there. You see the little old ladies in the wheelchairs. They're not wheelchairs. I'm not being rude. They're tanks. They'll kill you. And these are my 5 machines, young man. I mean, they'll kill you.
Yeah, right.
I saw a midget get a jack pocket, a nose full of nickels, drank the nickels, and poured the water down the machine. They go crazy.
Well, Rip, continued success to you. Really nice talking with you again. And
thank you, Bobby. I'll see you somewhere. You never know.
Okay, well, I'll be looking for you, and if I get out that way,
Yeah, please.
I will look for you in the clubs out there.
Thank you. Can you have my number now?
It was nice having you.
Nice being had, Bob. This is Rip Taylor. My mind is going. I thought a cataract was a Japanese car.
Bob Berry.
Thank you for listening to Bob Berry's Unearthed Interviews. Be sure to subscribe and rate our podcast on iTunes or wherever you find your podcasts. You can find all the episodes at WisconsinBroadcastingMuseum.org. Check out Bob Berry's book, Rock and Roll Radio Milwaukee. Book sale proceeds support Angels Kids Fund and Donate Life Wisconsin. The preceding program was made possible by a generous contribution from Terry Vaughn.